Little tour of the garden here. These are some onions that I set out. These are the ones that I raised last year, and I can't help but stop and pull a few weeds. That mountain ivy just takes over, but at least it does pull up good. These little Lunix lettuce, they were in the ground here all winter, and they didn't die. They had no frost cover, no protection whatsoever from the freeze, but they lived. Here's some more onions that I've set out. But what's truly amazing me is this garlic. I mean, guys, this is my hand, and this is the garlic. It's just started coming up in probably the last 3 weeks, and I want you to look at it. Of course, I am throwing some fish emulsion fertilizer on it. I'm just mixing it lightly, about a tablespoon per gallon of water, and I'm pouring it on there. I'd like to think that I could keep it up maybe once a week. It's just doing awesome. On the other side of this same cattle panel, I have some Russian red kale that is definitely ready for the lower leaves to be harvested. These onions here that are doing so well, these onions, all of these, came from one onion that I planted right here in the garden. Probably would have been midsummer. It rotted in the kitchen on the counter, and it had a green sprout on it, so I brought it out here, dug a hole, stuck it down in it. Then when I went to plant this stuff late last fall, early winter, when I was digging them up, that onion had separated into several plants, so that's where these onions are coming from. We have some more of the red Russian kale, and believe it or not, I think this is the only little kohlrabi plant that the rabbits didn't eat. Now, I have planted some lettuce in here, and I believe this is the May Queen, which each of these little plants will make a soft head. Those heads are not real tight, but they're so sweet. But it is not a lettuce that I can use for pick and come again. And this is just a Siberian kale. Kind of happy with what I got on this one little cattle panel. Just a small space, you can grow a lot of food, guys. And yes, I've got lots of weeds that I've got to get taken care of. I'm hoping to get cardboard laid down and some wood chip. Well, much to my surprise, these little grapevines that I started last year are still alive here in this bucket that I set over next to this little compost maker. Life just happens. I didn't get them planted last year. I definitely have a place for them to go now. Looks like I'm a little late in getting this Ruby Ann strawberry crop cleaned out, but I am going to be throwing a little fertilizer on it today. I'm absolutely amazed at the blooms. And I've got one here. I've got a couple of pots that I brought down because I do need to divide these. Some of these have more strawberries in the pot than they need. I think I'm just going to go ahead and put a row of the black weed fiber either down that side. I might put it down this side. And that way, that'd probably be a little bit better. Get a little more sunshine on this side. This is one of the few collard greens that I planted last winter that the rabbits didn't eat. They got in here because some dummy like me left the gate open. Here's one that's come back from the roots. And here's signs that we've had rabbits. Perhaps they were trying to fertilize the crops. But you can certainly tell it's warm weather. There's already seed pods in the top of that collard green. Not sure what I'm going to plant in here, but this little area gets lots of sun. And yes, when I turned this over to a garden last year, looks like I missed a peony root, but I'll take it up this fall. I'll just leave it. Not sure what I'm going to put on this trellis, but I'll figure it out. Since I didn't have cucumbers on this side last year, that'll be it. I'll just put some of my cucumber vines to grow up that. And believe it or not, that is turnip greens that has gone to seeds. This little green provided me a good breakfast this morning. This is Siberian kale, and I pulled a lot of those outer leaves, and it was so tender and tasty. These here are Landis winter lettuce, and right out here by them is some tiny little sprouting broccoli plants that I'm getting ready to fertilize this morning. I have a red Russian kale growing here that I'm going to harvest the leaves on it. And yes, this is more of the turnip greens on this side that I'm just going to need to pick them. I got enough seed on turnip greens, purple top turnip greens, bought them at the co-op in a large quantity, that I could have enough turnip greens to last me for 15 to 20 years. I have planted a few little endives here, which are not going to do it, but my arugula is ready to start harvesting the lower leaves. I did harvest a Landis winter lettuce right here. Landis winter lettuce does not make a good pick and come again crop either. It kind of forms a very, very loose head. But it certainly made a tasty salad for us 2 nights ago. This is also a form of arugula. It's got a little bit different leaf on it. I did plant 2 types. And this is some more Landis winter lettuce that I planted, and I just simply replaced what the rabbits have eaten. The rabbits did not eat the solar flower. The rabbits did not eat the solar flare lettuce, and it's doing good, as well as the Lunix lettuce. The Lunix lettuce and the solar flare have been here since late last fall. Apparently rabbits are afraid to eat anything that's not green. They left those. You know, we'd all like to have nice clean gardens, but if you look at these aisleways, I knew the aisleways I could work on later, but I needed that spinach to come up so it could grow during the cold season. And I am amazed. Some of it came up really good, others didn't. I'm just not sure what caused that. And my little baby carrots, I am pleased with them, and I did try to space them. Not that, let's be honest, not that they're going to get to grow very big, because my wife likes baby carrots. She doesn't like full-grown carrots, but I've got quite a few sowed in there. I'm getting ready now to take out all of this mountain ivy, as I'm told it's called. I have a few fennel plants that came up from seeds, I guess that was dropped from last year, because I did have fennel right there. And I have a few cilantro that I planted here. I've got, oh lordy, oh goodness, I've got quite a bit. I don't know if you can see it through the insect netting there. I've got quite a bit of sprouting broccoli that's got to be picked today. And finally, I think this endive's ready to be picked.